Hi, I'm Aaron Tweeten, and today we're going to take a quick look at the different formatting blocks available in the new editor for WordPress 5.0. The very first block I want to go over is the Classic block, which gives you all the controls that were available in the Classic Word editor in versions 4 and earlier. So I'm going to open up the formatting blocks right here and click Classic. And as you can see, you've got the same toolbar that was available before. You can type in some stuff, and everything is self-contained in here. So if I want to change this to a heading, it is all contained in one giant block. If you've been using WordPress prior to version 5, then likely the content for all of your previous posts or pages are stored in a classic block like this. So you can leave them in this classic block, or you can convert them into individual blocks by clicking this ellipse in the toolbar and just click Convert to Blocks. And then what it does is that it breaks everything up into separate individual blocks. I'm going to go up here and select Undo to convert that back. Next, we have the Code block, which is useful for displaying code snippets, such as something written in HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. There's nothing really fancy here, except what it does is that it's got everything in mono spacing, and it respects multiple spaces. So for example, I can put in indents here if I want. Now, if I try using the tab key, what will happen is that WordPress will jump to the next block. So it's not like a full-blown code editor. There's not a whole lot of options, but it is useful if you want to put code snippets. Next is the custom HTML block, which allows you to insert HTML that's not available using other blocks, such as div tags or perhaps definition lists. So that's what I've done in this case. I've inserted a definition list, and I can edit the HTML code, and then I can also click this preview button to get a preview of what it looks like. One thing to note about the custom HTML block is that it's not a sophisticated code editor, so don't expect tabs to work, or don't expect any automatic closing tags. You can also preview the HTML by clicking this preview button, but I've noticed that the styling doesn't quite match what appears when you finally publish the post. So here it looks like everything's been converted to Times Roman, but if I actually preview the page in a new tab, this is actually what the final result should look like. The Preformatted block allows you to add text that respects multiple spaces and tabs, unlike other blocks. It also uses a monospace font to maintain uniform spacing. So in here, I can bold text, I can italicize it, and then it can also maintain spaces. It's similar to the code block that's mentioned up here, but there's no border, and also for the code block, there's no bolding or italicize or anything like that. The Pullquote block is similar to the quote block, but allows some more visual customization, such as the colors and styles. I'm honestly not sure why the Pullquote and quote blocks aren't combined, but I can show you what the different styles look like. So here's the Pullquote block, and then here's the quote block, which is under a different category. So I'm going to select this. You can change the styles. You can change it from regular, which put these bars at the top and bottom, or you can select a solid color. And you can change the color. As you see right here, I've got a main color. I can change it to the default, or actually in this case, it made it clear. I can change it to different shades of blue or gray, or I can adjust the color right here. And then if I select solid color, I might want to clear these out. And what that will do is it will show a default of white against a blue background. The table block allows you to insert tables without the use of an additional plugin or editing HTML by hand. So what I've done here is I've added a table block, and it's a pretty simple table. You can add or remove rows or columns. You can also do some styling here. So for example, I can mimic a header row or column by bolding the text. There's also some styling options over here on the side. You have regular, which doesn't have any stripes, and then stripes. And then you can change this, and I'm not exactly sure what kind of change. It looks like it balances out the width a little bit. You also have the controls over here where you can change the size. At the very bottom is the verse block, which is a combination of the paragraph and preformatted blocks. So what you do is you get the style of the paragraph block, but it respects spaces. So for example, here I put in 4 spaces. I'll get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will respect those space changes. Anyway, those are the formatting blocks in a nutshell. If you have any questions or would like to learn more, you can visit my website at aarontweeton.com. Thanks for watching.